Southern Wine and Spirits.
3, 2, 1.
2015, in our enormous studio here, room 327 in Monteleone. Jeff Rogers, how you doing?
Nice to see you again, man.
Welcome back to the show, brother.
Appreciate it.
So what brought you back to Tales this year?
Every year, it's just something about this place that's magical, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, where just all these weird nerds and all the passion that happens in this town, you have to come back. And you see new innovations, you see new cocktails, you see new ideas, but ultimately you're starting to see that passion spread, which is amazing. I mean, it's almost 25,000 people this year.
It's huge, and it's just like you said, seeing the same bartenders that are passionate of you are, but from not only all over the nation, but all over the world now.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. The networking here is beautiful if you're sober enough to remember it the next day. Collect business cards.
That's the part, right? We're not drinking, we're learning.
Francesco Lafricone.
Yes, boom.
Good call. Now, what are you doing now? You're back with Southern Wine and Spirits,
I am.
and you've been with them a little over 2.5 years, you
Yep,
said?
that's correct.
And so when you first started on the scene in the area to where you are now, what trends have you seen changed, and where is the trends in the market now in your area?
You know, I would say that in places that I've been to from a travel, because I get to travel a lot now with my job, is the fact that more people that you never thought about are caring about cocktails and hospitality, which a lot of places, your local hole in the wall is more worried now about what they're putting out in the product in the glass. They're more worried about how they're treating people when they leave the door. And that's pretty awesome to see. I think before you have to kind of pick and choose the places that you went to, and obviously everybody loves different things. Some people like a whiskey bar, some people like a nightclub, and all those things are coming together to understand that they want to still give great products and great service, which that's awesome.
I think it does come to the surface, and I think, like you're saying, the education is out there for the common public. So now it's not only are they aware of it, but they almost kind of expect, and they're not afraid to pay for a better product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true. You're starting to see that people are worried about quality. And I preach in the academy that I teach, which is premium spirits. And premium spirits has nothing to do with age, label, or price. When you drink it, do you enjoy it? Now we can also talk distillation and is it a good or bad? Of course those conversations are going to come up. But when it comes to premium spirits, that if you like something that's on that bottom shelf, there's some great stuff that's still there for $10 to $18. Enjoy it.
It's just, getting the knowledge. Now, speaking of great spirits, you brought this on. Why don't you tell us about it?
And so it's a View Cachaça. I can't even say it now. Here I am. Right? That's Tales for
Couple of shots for
just
you.
tripping around. Cachaça. And it's a new product that I'm bringing into Minnesota, which I'm really excited about. Cachaça is one of those categories that generally, much like Pisco, a lot of people are a little bit nervous about when they first get into it. And this is one of the most beautifully made that I've ever had. And it makes one of the greatest caipirinhas I've had. But it goes beyond that. It finally is a cachaça that isn't just set from the caipirinha. You can use it in a daiquiri version, or I've even done old fashions with it.
Oh, so what's the price point on this?
Price point is mid-20s. Yeah, mid-20s to lower 30s, depending on where you are. I mean, I've seen it cheaper and I've seen it more expensive at the same point in time, but it's about that mid-20s.
So a good quality product for a great price.
It is. Absolutely.
Now, to kind of touch base what you said earlier, we talked about service.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, when it comes down to service behind a bar, I'd rather go back to a bar that has great service over great cocktails any day.
Sure.
With that being service, I know you and I are both huge components of working Flair.
Absolutely.
What is your opinion on that, and how relevant is it into the bartending market today?
Oh, I love this question because we talked about this last year a little bit, and to see the fact that there was a Flair seminar available this year, which I got to attend.
Anthony Poland, Dario Jomo, Kate Gerwin, awesome bowls.
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, and it was so many people look at my Flair background and they say, "Oh, you're a bottle flipper," and yet I see a hardcore mixologist that is doing a shake a certain way or doing a stir a certain way.
The little twist
That's
of the jiggers
Flair.
that I love.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And we're starting to see all those worlds combine, and it's awesome because that dance behind the bar, when you feel at ease while somebody's working, or the duck pond theory, if you will, where their body's kind of floating, but maybe internally it's just scrambling, but you don't see that, that's all Flair, and people come back to that. Because like you said, if you have the greatest food and the greatest spirits and the greatest cocktails in the world, but you treat people like garbage, I don't want to go back there.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to deal with, but you can always elevate that service and it's going to bring people back through that door. And Danny Meyer said that at the keynote speech this year, which was talking about making people feel like they're going out, but they're coming home.
Yeah.
Give them a product that they can't make it they're sitting on their couch, but make sure that they feel like they're in a home environment. And that really resonated with me.
It was great, and you're not the first person to say that, so we're sorry you missed Danny Myers. We heard a lot of great things about it. What I like to believe nowadays in this time is maybe 5, 10 years ago, there was that separation between Flair and Mixologists, and we all felt different ways about each other. And it was mainly because of egos and not understanding each other, I think.
Yeah,
And I think events like Tales of the Cocktail
There's
Mixology
no egos
matters.
in bartenders at all.
Yeah, I think it's all culminated that. But nowadays, I definitely say there is no separation.
No.
It's almost an
No.
evolution, if you will. We all learn from each other, and
Absolutely.
Flair bartenders are learning how to make great quality cocktails. I mean, Dario Doman being a great example of the IBA championship. You yourself, as well as, like you said, in mixologists, they're showing these videos on YouTube now, and they're doing the subtle working flair, the bar spoon flair, the little jigger flair, and I love that. And they're learning. And in the seminar yesterday, how all those mixologists would die if they ever dropped something. We're flicking the straws in the bottles and learning all that simple working flair. Behind it inside, it was awesome.
Anthony made a great quote, which was, he said, we have mixologists, we have flair bartenders, and people define themselves as that. And we're starting to get to that point where people are just defining themselves as bartenders. And it doesn't matter where school of knowledge you come from, because it's all passion. That's all it is. How do people feel when they walk out your doors? End of story.
True, 100%. Now, I'll give Tobin Ellis that. He said that on our first episode of this show back at Tales, I don't know how many years ago it was now. We're aging ourselves, but he said, hey, I'm not a mixologist, I'm not a flair bartender, I'm not a brand ambassador, I'm a bartender.
Yep.
100% agree on that.
Absolutely.
So coming back to Tales, you've been here, we're about halfway through.
Mhm.
What's your favorite thing you've seen so far this year?
Wow. That's a great question. I don't know. There's so many things that jump out. I mean, the parties are amazing. The bar fight was last night, and I wanted to see White Line. They're from London, and it's a bar that has no ice and no citrus. And I was just really interested in that concept. So I would say, from me afar, watching what they did to get cold cocktails and still get acid and citrus components in a cocktail is really what wowed me. But as far as events go, there's been so many. I don't know, it's hard to tell.
So ones you remember at least.
And, right? It absolutely. I mean, the opening parties, William Graham party was amazing. It was awesome. It was really, really cool.
The Jedi bottle pour is my favorite.
Right? Well, we're all Star Wars nerds at heart, at least a little bit of us. But even the Rockin' Bowl, early on Tuesday, where people were just bowling and just drinking a bunch of punch, and there was just dancers all over the place. I mean, it's just kind of in awe to see.
Yeah, it's always a huge event. Now you're just reminiscing cocktails. You know, we got to come to a break, but do you mind when we come back from the commercial, if you can make us a cocktail with this lovely product?
Love to.
Awesome, Jeff. I appreciate that. And we'll be back right after this.